Hi, friends and neighbors. I'm George Lakoff. First of all, this amount of money was borrowed from China. We owe interest on it. It's more than that. I want to talk about some of the things not being said. First of all, a lot of people talk about Bush as incompetent. It's not true. From his point of view, he has achieved a huge amount. Remember, from his point of view, not having social services, not having social programs of any sort is moral. And he found a way to cut huge amounts of them by having this war. And by saying, oh, there's no money for anything else.
That's right.
He won on those, and he was competent from his perspective. And the longer this war goes on, the more conservatives win. The Democrats in Congress have not been talking about the fact that this is a competent administration from the point of view of conservatism. The problem is not the Bush administration, it is the very conservative ideas behind the Bush administration.
Yes.
Just because Karl Rove is gone doesn't mean conservatism is. Just because, if we manage to vote those guys out of office, it doesn't mean conservatism is gone.
Right.
It's conservatism that is the problem in the case of the war, in the case of what our funding priorities are, and in the case of issues like global warming and other related issues. Secondly, the folks in Congress, as much as and Barbara, I have to say wonderful things about Barbara Lee all the way through, the folks in Congress have not taken their responsibility seriously. The Constitution makes them the decider on all military matters. It gives them the ability to not only declare war, but to say what the strategy should be, how many troops there should be, what the levels are, and it says for only 2 years can they give any money. That's it, 2 years. By not acting, by not voting, what they can do is end the war. They're scared. And they're scared that the Bush administration will say that if anything bad happens, it'll be their fault. But what really is involved is that Congress has not come out and said, look, what the Constitution says is Congress decides this, we're deciding to end it, and you are the executive secretary. You carry out what we administer.
Yes. Yes.
That is your job, and you're not doing your job. There's something to be said every single day until the country understands that Bush is responsible for those troops and for their safety, not Congress. Bush has the money. It's been voted to bring all of them home. He can do it if he wants. But he doesn't want. The country has to demand it, and Congress has to start by taking its responsibility and simply saying no. That is, it's not a matter of getting a majority. People say, oh, we can't get 60 people. It's not a matter of getting 60 people. It's a matter of not getting those people. It's a matter of saying no. It's a matter of not appropriating. That is something that needs to be said over and over because because Bush makes it look as if Congress is being irresponsible by not appropriating, when it in fact is responsible. Right? This is a matter of getting out there and everybody saying, not just here, but through the Congress, and when you write to Diane and to Barbara, tell them not to vote this, and tell them to point out that they have the authority. And I want to say one more thing. They started to do it. In the last vote that they put down on appropriations, where they put a deadline on that was vetoed, they actually gave an order to the president for the first time. They said the president is supposed to carry out this order. Now they should do the following. They should be telling them that every day, all over the country, whenever anyone speaks, that their not voting is an order. That is very important. People think that it is irresponsible, that it is a non-action. Not voting an appropriation for the war is, you know, and saying it's over is an action. Thank you.